With the placement phase complete, it's time for battle to begin. Let's look at a few turns for each player, including the battlefield phase, action phase, and draw phase. During the battlefield phase, any blessing and action cards in play rotate forward by 1 step. However, as this is the start of the game, there is currently nothing to rotate, so we move straight on to the action phase. During their action phase, a player will perform up to 2 actions. These actions could include playing a card or performing a heroic act. For every action they chose to skip, they will draw a card during the draw phase. In this example, the player has started the game holding the unit's Paladin Protector and Longstrike Raptor, the warrior ability Opportunity Strike, and the spell Arcane Bolt. For this player's first action, they decide to deliver a quick burst of damage with Vandus Hammerhand using Opportunity Strike. Opportunity Strike is a warrior ability. This can be identified by the word warrior on the card and the red border. Opportunity Strike deals 2 damage to the opposing player. However, this damage will be increased by 3 if there are no highlighted units in play. The subject image at the bottom of the card outlines the positions of units in their lanes. We can now see that there are no highlighted units, so the ability deals an impressive 5 damage before being moved to the discard pile. Dealing damage to the opponent not only reduces their health total, but also puts Vandus Hammerhand on the way to earning a blessing from the gods. The symbols on the corner of each champion indicate what objective they must complete to progress their quest and earn a blessing. The top left corner shows the current objective of that champion's quest. The current symbol means deal damage, either with an ability or by a controlled unit. Because Vandus Hammerhand has dealt damage, he rotates 1 step forward. He is now ready to begin his next quest objective. For their second action, the Order player decides to have Lord Relictor cast the spell Arcane Bolt, which is moved into the corresponding action slot. Spells can be easily identified by their blue border and the word spell shown on the card. Only wizards and warrior wizards have the skill required to cast a spell. Now that the Order player has completed their turn, they enter the draw phase. As they have taken 2 actions this turn, they draw no cards and play moves to the Chaos Grand Alliance player. Much like the Order player, there is currently nothing for the Chaos player to rotate during their battlefield phase, so we move straight to the action phase. For their first action, the Chaos player decides to place the unit card Pack of Bloodletters under the command of the Aspiring Deathbringer, moving them into the Aspiring Deathbringer's action area. Units can be identified by their unit category line and red border. Units may only be placed under the command of a warrior or warrior wizard. These bloodthirsty demons deliver damage over 4 turns. Again, paying attention to the top left active corner shows that this turn they will deliver 1 damage to the Order player. For their second action, the Chaos player decides to have the Aspiring Deathbringer deliver the ability Brutal Smash. Even though the Deathbringer is in the middle of commanding some units, he is still able to use an ability as he is a warrior class champion. Wizards, however, may not use abilities while they have a spell in play. As the Deathbringer has performed an ability, he has completed his first quest objective, so rotates forward 1 step. Brutal Smash now comes into effect, but crucially, so too does the Aspiring Deathbringer's trait. This trait increases damage from the champion's abilities by 1 when the highlighted champion is disengaged. For a champion to be disengaged, they must not be currently in command of a unit or casting a spell. As Vander's Hammerhand is not currently commanding any units, Brutal Smash will deliver 3 damage instead of 2, and then moves to the discard pile. This is the end of the Chaos player's action phase. As they also took 2 actions, they draw no cards in the draw phase. Now play returns to the Order player, and the battlefield phase begins. As there is now a card in play, the Arcane Bolt spell rotates 1 step forward onto another inactive corner. This rotation completes the battlefield phase and moves us back to the action phase. The Order player is concerned about incoming damage from the forces of Chaos, so decides to place a Paladin Protector on the Knight Heraldor. Paladin Protectors reduce damage received by highlighted enemies by the corner value, while also stopping highlighted friendly units from being removed. Deploy Unit is the current quest objective for Knight Heraldor, and comes in many varieties. A red shield with no image above it means to play any kind of unit, whereas a red shield with a symbol on it requires a specific type of unit to be played. In this case, a Stormcast unit. Because the Knight Heraldor has played a Stormcast unit, which can be identified by the card's Stormcast tag, he has also completed his first quest objective. As the Order player is now only holding 1 card, they decide to skip their second action and move on to the draw phase. Having skipped one of their actions, the Order player draws a single card. Play now moves over to the Chaos player. To begin their battlefield phase, the pack of Bloodletters rotate onto their next corner. These would now deliver another 1 damage, but because of the placement of the Paladin Protector, this damage is reduced by 2, meaning that no damage is received. Deciding to increase their choices, the Chaos player decides to skip both of their actions and instead draw 2 cards during the draw phase. Moving back to the Order player for the battlefield phase, both the Paladin Protector and Arcane Bolt rotate. Their action cards now apply their effects in order from left to right. The Paladin Protector now reduces damage received by 1, while Arcane Bolt has reached its final corner, so delivers a huge 7 damage to the Chaos player. As both of these cards are now on their final corner, next time they rotate, they will be exhausted and move to the discard pile. This also happens for any card that is rotated all the way back to its starting position. To start their third action phase, the Order player deploys a Long Strike Raptor under the command of their Liberator Prime. This unit is inactive now, but next turn will deliver 2 damage, increased by 2, as the highlighted champion is disengaged. Not wanting to give the Chaos player a chance to deploy a unit and reduce this damage, the Order player uses their second action to perform the Knight Heraldor's Heroic Act. This Heroic Act allows the player to rotate a highlighted Stormcast unit 1 step forward. Choosing to rotate the Long Strike Raptor forward, it now delivers 4 damage, and in turn completes the Liberator's first quest objective. Let's skip forward in the battle to look at a blessing coming into play. Here, we see our Order player about to start their turn. They currently have 4 health, whereas the Chaos player has 9. The Chaos player has a Mystic Shield in play, which reduces damage received by 2 across the battlefield. For their first action, our Order player chooses the Liberator Prime to perform the ability Piercing Shot. This delivers 3 damage with Rend. Rend damage bypasses any damage reduction in play, which means it bypasses the Chaos player's Mystic Shield to deliver the full 3 damage, leaving our Chaos player at 6 health. As he has used an ability, the Liberator Prime has now completed his third quest objective, so rotates again. For his second action, the Order player has the Liberator Prime deploy a Paladin Decimator. Deploying a Stormcast unit completes the Liberator Prime's final quest objective and returns him to the starting point. He will no longer rotate and now gains access to his blessing. Revealing the blessing, we can see that the Liberator Prime has received Swift Judgment, a devastating blessing that instantly delivers 4 damage, which will be increased by 5 if the highlighted champion is disengaged, which he is. Mystic Shield is still active, reducing this damage from 9 to 7. However, this is still enough to bring the Chaos player to 0 health and seizes victory for the Champions of Order, driving back the forces of Chaos once more. From watching these few turns, you should now know everything you need to get started in Warhammer Age of Sigmar Champions.